Okay, welcome back to Metal Hero Review episode number 133. We're here discussing episodes 31 and 32 of Janperson. Yes. Excuse me. So, basically, in this particular two-part, Tadawaki, the leader of the financial corporation, is getting tired of Janperson. See assistants there. They don't do it. Here's the thing about these two women. They don't speak in these two episodes. So he's like, well, kind of. When to speak, they're like, I've made my decision. I am going to convert myself. You're going to go through conversion. And what exactly does this mean? Well, then we see this scientist named Dr. Tazuya, I think it's how you pronounce his name, where he's like, everything ready, doctor? Yes, there's one small problem, and it's the doctor from the Robot Prison two-parter. Yep. Oh, and they later revealed this doctor here who's working on this thing. He is actually one of the doctors from the first two-part of the series, which is Janperson's backstory. Yep. So, he escapes, and he apparently has got some information. And so, he of course gets shot. Well, actually he goes to this fountain to meet up with Kuna, which aside from Janperson and her brother, like, he's like the only person, and of course Gun Gibson obviously, he's like the only person who knows she's alive. Before this, we do see a debut of a brand new character here. A little robot. Yep, this little robot named Robus. And it's like, oh, we have these missiles, and Gun Gibson's firing, and just basically tests this basically. It's just a brand new character debut here. And he is not annoying per se, but he is very helpful. He's a helpful assistant. I guess because they wanted some for kids to attach up to. Also, I should point out, despite the fact that Kuhn's brother has appeared in these, he's appearing since like episode 17 of the show. Like, he doesn't appear a lot throughout these episodes. It's not in the case of Jaspion where he went missing per se. It's just that they probably didn't need him for these episodes, probably because he wasn't required to be here. That's probably what happened. So he's not here. So then she, oh yeah, basically this is the guy from the apparently he's the scientist from the two-parter. From the first couple of two-parters. So they reveal that he has been restructuring the Robo Prison that was destroyed back in episode 22. And first time it's been brought up since episode 22 at all, the Robo Prison. And so then she meets up with the area where she was meeting up with him. And he was taken by, I think it was Marie, I think her name is. The one who's actually it was Maya. Maya's name. One of Tawa's assistants. And he's there seen tied up in this warehouse after, of course, she shoots him in basically his calf. And he remains with this wound for the remainder of this episode. So then we see, like, oh, like, this is what they have the mentor, this is actually her mentor. And then we see him go through the conversion. It's Taoki becoming, and we see the name, Bill Goldie. Yes. Where, when they show him off later on in the episode, let me show him off here. He is literally just Janperson. Instead of being purple, he looks like this, and with a diamond in his head. And he literally has mostly put the same attachments as Janperson. He has the missile knee, the gun, the side thing that's in his thigh. It's also he has to control the Sky car, thanks to the same little wrist thing on his wrist. So, yeah, this is actually his debut of this particular form, and basically, the first thing he does is to go find Nabi, where basically he well, hunts him down after basically after Nabu escapes, and it's like, oh, I'm in this area, and of course they know where he is, and of course, well, Gungups goes with him too. Actually, he shows up a little bit later. So they get there and they see him, and later he dies. Yep. So a character first appeared in episode 17, he appeared in 18, appeared in 21, 22, and then he dies in 31 after a few appearances. He was actually a good character. I like this character. Sad to see him go. And then of course you have Janperson, Billy Goldie, and that's where they wrote his name. They're like, wait, this is not the Neo Guild. The Neo Guild is references episode, but they don't appear. There's even reference to the Super Science Network, which also has appeared in this episode. Which I like the fact, basically, he acknowledges the fact that, well, the fact that he acknowledges to everyone else, like, this is not them, this is the other organization, which he does not know who this is. It just, to him, this company is like an unknown organization to him. It's just the other organization. Despite the fact he's been fighting these organizations since episode 3 of the show. They kind of take the place of the original guild, who was destroyed back in episode 2. So, and then we have Billy Goldie going on a crime spree. It's like, oh, you have someone who looks like Janperson. Like, they think, oh, is Janperson going to, like, is he lose to pump trust? And then, of course, this is immediately thrown out the window. We see him attacking police officers, and then, of course, he has the same car that Janperson does. And then Janperson throws a guy right at his gun. He has this whole Janperson for justice, the only time he says in this whole two-parter. And he tells everybody, and of course tells them to take cover, and of course everyone's like, yeah, the one that's Janperson. The other one just somebody who looks like Janperson, but it's not him. Yeah, this immediately clears his name of being basically committing these crimes. Which is kind of in a way the second time in the series he's been accused of crimes. He's been sort of negative publicity. This is the first time since episode 2 this has happened. Yes. So then he fights him here, gets injured. Gungups comes in to save him, and then of course they find out where this picture's taken at the guy's private lab. So Gungups and Red Bus goes in, and of course got this place called the Labyrinth, where Billy Goldie is there, thanks to a trapdoor. Janperson goes himself and works with it, and of course, then this whole labyrinth, it's all an illusion cast by this thing called the virtual virus mind. This VR thing. Because, it's the early 1990s. Of course, basically, the experiments with technology. Yeah, something my dad, believe it or not, he actually did see this technology be experimented on, believe it or not, at a military base back in the late 80s. Yes. When we were living in Texas, he told me this basically because to him, virtual reality is nothing really new. And this is because basically when around like, oh, something new. It's like, yeah, he knew about this. He has seen him experiment on. So that was contracted with the military base over in Texas when, of course, I was still a baby at that point. So then, of course, they disable it thanks to Kuroha actually subconscious. They do explain in a flashback that he is kind of this way because his wife and daughter were killed in a car accident when she tried to leave him due to his. So apparently he wanted to do a phase 2 of the project that resulted in Janperson, where it was basically a combination of cybernetics and human biology as a bioborg, and that's what Goldie is. He's a bioborg. So then, of course, she convinces him, like, oh, yeah, be do it for your wife and daughter who since passed away. And then, of course, she shoves her outside. Of course, she yells at him. And then then Maya shows up to save Billy Goldie. And he's like, I made a mistake. And then he proceeds to blow up his laboratory. Billy Goldie himself later to survive. And Maya survived too. The scientist is obviously dead. And, of course, Korra basically has basically a small funeral for him. And it sets us up new, and, well, then we see where, by the way, he actually take out the helmet and put it on his desk, and there's a thing on his head, and apparently this thing can disappear. Now, when I saw this, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. This is the first time I've seen this since Metallider. So they're using idea from Mattel, the whole transformation thing, just his head, not the whole body like what it was with God Neros. But otherwise, though, great two-parter, and not officially on break. This is where basically they decided to take a break, and you're thinking, wow, a really good two-parter and take a break at. Yeah, definitely. And as of currently, so we got on break, I now have currently 18 episodes left to go, and I will watch these episodes after to get back my break, which basically we'll see is for about 3 weeks. So when can you kind of expect basically me to resume? Probably not until the second week of March. Yeah. There could be like a little bit afterwards, maybe. But around that period of time. Basically, the second week of March is when I'll resume. And that's in 3 weeks. Yep. So, next up is going to be Comic Corner, and then it's going to be on to Free Reign. Yep. So, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications. I'll see you next video. Bye.